The Big Show.
All right, Ross, what are your overall themes from Super Bowl 57, where the Chiefs won their second ring in 4 years, defeating the Philadelphia Eagles 38-35?
So before I kind of get into the game flow, which I will get into, I kind of wanted to discuss just some of the themes that stood out to me about the game. The footing was a major issue and incredibly disappointing. Now, it should be noted, it's the same for both teams. So there's no crying or whining. It doesn't impact the outcome of the game. What you need to do is change out your cleats and or adjust. Keep your footing underneath you a little bit, throttle down a little bit. But I think we can all agree it just really is not fun to watch these guys slipping and sliding all over the place. I mean, that's not what we're looking for. And it also led to it being such a high-scoring Super Bowl because poor footing is an advantage for the offense because the D linemen aren't able to get off the snap because they don't have solid footing. And the defensive backs, the defenders, they have to react to where the offensive players go. So footing was an issue, disappointing, but again, same for both teams. The Eagles totally dominated the first half. I mean, the statistics were just ridiculous. Were it not for the Nick Bolton fumble return for a touchdown when Hurts lost control of the ball, who knows what the score could have been at halftime. I mean, it was 24-14. That was a touchdown. And when it happened, by the way, the Eagles were in Chiefs territory. So just think about it, what could have happened. That was after a false start, by the way, which is a key penalty. So wild to think about what the first half score could have been without that fumble. Mahomes' ankle clearly an issue, and he aggravated it at the end of the first half on that TJ Edwards tackle. Kudos to him for fighting through that and playing as well as he did in the second half. That was absolutely awesome by Patrick Mahomes, and that's why he is an all-time great. Thank you, babe. She loves when I give her the thank you. She loves when I acknowledge it while I'm on the show. I got to take one sip real quick. Oh, man, that's good. Okay. By the way, if you're new to the show, that is my daughter, Helen, with the smoothie delivery of the morning. We got to get that sponsored. Anybody know a smoothie business out there? We got to get the smoothie delivery of the morning by Helen Tucker sponsored. All right. A couple of the themes, right? That's the best I've seen Jalen Hurts play since his shoulder injury. Just an incredible performance. Might be the best game he's ever played. I mean, over 300 yards passing, sets the record for rushing yards by a quarterback in the Super Bowl. He played unbelievable. He played awesome, which, by the way, makes it even more stunning that the Eagles lost the game. But he played incredible, showed the heart of a champion. I mean, even the pass that Quez Watkins dropped was just a great throw by Hurts. I mean, it's just remarkable that he was able to play that well. If you would have told me that Hurts would play that well, I would have told you Eagles would definitely win. But they didn't, because the Chiefs were a step ahead of the Eagles in the second half from a coaching perspective. You know, the Eagles had a delay of game. They used a timeout that they usually don't do. I mean, those things are things that the Eagles usually don't have to do. The other thing is the Eagles didn't dominate the trenches the way they needed to. I mean, the Eagles needed to really totally dominate the trenches in order to win the game, I thought, and they weren't able to do it. The two biggest plays of the game by far were the Bolton fumble return for a touchdown. Obviously, I mean, that's the single biggest play of the game, clearly. And then the punt return for a touchdown as well by Kadarius Toney, obviously he didn't score, but basically he got all the way down there and got close enough for them to score. All of which leads us to the James Bradbury holding penalty late. Number one, it did not cost the Eagles the game. They would have still been down 38-35 with less than 2 minutes to go. It cost all of us the chance to see what could have been an all-time ending. That's what it cost us. What cost the Eagles the game or anything else was the fumble return for a touchdown and the punt return. However, there is no debate or discussion regarding whether or not it was a bad call. You know how I know it was a bad call? Because in the first half, Bradbury had a way more blatant hold that I thought, like Greg Olsen, they probably should have called, but they didn't. So immediately, we see the inconsistency. Here's the thing. As a player, you play the game based on how the officials are calling it. So if the officials don't call that in the first half, you sure as heck don't think they're going to call something that was significantly less than that with less than 2 minutes to go in the game. So we don't have to debate that. We know the officials messed up just based on the dichotomy of the two Bradbury Juju Smith-Schuster plays, period. Very, very disappointing that they would call something ticky-tack like that. Kudos to Bradbury after the game for accepting responsibility. Look, they threw the flag, and he said it was a hold. He's a classy veteran player who knows that you can't put yourself in a position where you even give the refs a chance to throw that flag. And Bradbury knows that. And the Eagles know that they needed to play better up front, both sides of the ball. They couldn't have the punt return. They couldn't have the fumble. And you can't put yourself in that position. But we also know that the officials screwed up. We don't even have to debate it. That, by the way, was my Labatt Blue take of the day. And you know what it is? It's presented by Labatt Blue, the pristine Canadian Pilsner. Enjoy your beers together so you can live life to the power of we. Always enjoy responsibly. Beer, Labatt USA, Buffalo, New York. As for the actual game flow, Jack, look, most of you watch the game. Although, by the way, some point in the next couple of weeks, I'm getting somebody on here that that did not watch the Super Bowl. I just think it would be fascinating to interview them, just hear about things. The Eagles totally marched on their opening drive, RPOs, O-line was dominant, Hurts, quarterback sneak, touchdown 7-0. Devontae Smith had a big drive. Chiefs opening drive, equally as impressive. Pacheco was awesome, and Kelsey had a couple big plays on that drive, 7-7. The Eagles' second drive got killed by a Pascal penalty, and I thought the Chiefs were really flying around and hitting. Kudos to the Chiefs for that. Then on the second drive for the Chiefs, they marched again to Kelsey with a big play. But Andy Reid goes for a field goal on 4th and 3, which I agreed with, by the way. You take the lead in that situation. A lot of people criticizing him. I think they're mainly criticizing him because Butker doinked it. Then Hurts threw a deep ball to A.J. Brown against tremendous coverage. Not a smart throw in my mind by Hurts, but he trusted A.J. Brown, and it worked out. Biggest play of the game, 14-7. Hurts fumbles on 3rd and 6. Returned for a touchdown by Bolton. That was after Sayamalo had the false start on 3rd and 1, after Gainwell slipped. You know, these games are like they're like a butterfly, with the butterfly effect. Gainwell slipping, not getting the first down, led to the quarterback sneak attempt, which led to the Sayamalo false start, which led to the Hurts fumble. It all matters. It all counts. Eagles then go 2 for 2 on 4th down, including getting Noddy to jump to get the Jalen Hurts touchdown. Mahomes hurts his ankle end of the first half. As the Eagles D-line end of the first half looked like they were starting to get after him, Devontae Smith's catch was overturned. I did not agree with that call. Did not think it was clear and obvious to overturn. And I also believe that if that's not a catch, they should rewrite the rule again. That should be a catch. I don't really know that it affected the game. I don't know that the Eagles would have gotten more than a field goal in that instance anyway. And Hurts ends up throwing the ball to A.J. Brown. They get a field goal. Eagles up 24-14 at halftime. So impressed by the game planning, the play calling by Andy Reid in the second half. Chiefs had such an impressive mix of run, pass, O-line, great work on that first drive of the second half to go up 24-21. I mean, to score touchdowns. It was 24-21. Then Goddard makes two ridiculous catches, but the Eagles get held to a field goal. That comes back to haunt them. Red zone is critical. So that's one where they were in the red zone, held to a field goal. Remember that one. Chiefs again mix Pacheco on the ground with an awesome play call to Tony, 28-27. Eagles picked a bad time to go 3 and out. They passed on 3rd and 2, incomplete. Leads to, I think Hurts just threw the ball away. That led to the punt return touchdown and the Sky Moore, or punt return for Tony. Sky Moore touchdown, 35-27. Hurts threw a bomb to a wide open Devontae Smith. Then he got the 2-point conversion. That ties at 35-35. Mahomes had the long scramble, which was incredible. The guts of him with the ankle leads to the questionable Bradbury holding call that I already talked about. Chiefs win 38-35. Awesome football game. The ending was a little anticlimactic, but great game. The commercials that jumped out to me, I love the Ben Affleck J-Lo Dunkin' Donuts commercial. Love Bradley Cooper and his mom, T-Mobile. I think I can see my mom and I doing that. I thought everybody betting like the under on Kevin Hart in the DraftKings commercial was funny. And no, I'm not obligated to say that, although I probably would anyway. And then the Bud Light dancing during the hold music, I thought that was pretty darn good as well.